And we're hearing from one of the candidates running for Louisiana's 3rd Congressional District.
Live from Acadiana, your local news leader, this is Passe Partout.
Good morning to you, I'm Renee Allen. I thank you for joining us. Lafayette has a new police chief. The former captain will be the 3rd police chief the city has had in 2 years. She's also the first woman to take on that job. But with crime a major concern for some people, some will take it more than just filling the role to stop it. Britt LaFaso, she's explaining why.
One police chief is not going to curb the crime rate in our city. It won't.
Lafayette Parish Councilman A.B. Rubin says while Judith Estridge will be the first woman police chief, her gender does not matter. What matters is, can they do the job?
It doesn't matter if it's male, female, or with the gender, with the race, religion, whatever it is. Whoever's in that office, she has to be have an open door policy. Listen to the community.
Rubin says Lafayette needs community policing and the chief needs to be transparent to rebuild trust with the people of Lafayette.
The thing that I look forward to is, can you get the policemen to do the things that we need in our community? Whereas the policemen don't sit in their cars and just watch what's going on in the community. Get down, talk to the people in our community.
He adds he believes that Estridge will do a great job as police chief. He says she's often worked with the community in her 29 years in the Lafayette Police Department. He hopes she will bring her work ethic and experience into her new position as police chief.
Don't just get in office and ride around in your car. Get down and feel the pulse. See what the people in the community want. You know, feel the heartbeat of the community. So that way, we feel as though we're in office.
That was Britt LaFaso reporting right there. She will begin as police chief on November 1st. New for you this morning, a missing Florida child found safe with the help of the Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office. Deputies say they learned Friday that a juvenile was taken without permission by a family member from Fort Myers, Florida. With the help of technology and surveillance assets, Lafayette Sheriff's deputies were able to locate the vehicle and conduct a traffic stop on I-10. Authorities say they found the child in good condition. The child's grandmother, Joanna Holcomb, was arrested. Vandalism and theft crimes have Breaux Bridge law enforcement on high alert at all times. As News 10's Dawson D'Amico reports, there are strategies in their approach to stop these crimes.
Breaux Bridge Chief of Police Rolly Cantu says the department has noticed how prevalent vandalism crimes happen in the city this time of year. He explains how the department is doing what they can to stop the trend from continuing. With a limited amount of resources and a lot of area to cover, Chief Cantu says his department does what they can when it comes to crimes of vandalism and theft. But it is not easy.
It takes a toll on your officers because you have to try to accommodate everybody. Yeah. And when you're short-handed, it's hard.
Cantu says when they are able to follow up on complaints to the station about these types of crimes, it can take a while for evidence to pinpoint exactly what happened and who did it.
And you have to scan the neighborhood and talk to people and just make sure that you find every little evidence you can find.
Chief Cantu explains how the department is able to catch criminals by noticing a pattern in the crimes and using it to the department's advantage.
I know my guys, if they can follow a person, and most of your career criminals have a pattern. You know what they're going to steal, you know where they're going to go with it, and once in a while they get smart and they'll change that pattern, but most of them have usually the same pattern. I hope that people, can understand that a lot of times crime against property is usually one of the hardest ones to solve.
As law enforcement continues to be aware and prepared of what is happening in the city, Breaux Bridge police are doing their best to tackle the issue and keep the city clean. In Breaux Bridge, Dawson D'Amico for KLFY News 10.
Then yesterday, the state's highest court has ruled that non-unanimous jury convictions do not apply to early convictions. This all comes following the case of Reginald Redrig, who was convicted of murder in 1997. Now, in an 10-2 vote in 2018, Louisiana voters approved a constitutional amendment prohibiting non-unanimous verdicts in trials for crimes committed after January 1st, 2019. In 2020, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that non-unanimous verdicts were unconstitutional.
This is the last word on it. The ruling means that under the federal Constitution, the right to a non-unanimous jury exists, but it's not retroactive.
Then this morning, we continue our coverage of profiling candidates running for Louisiana's 3rd Congressional District. Recently, we introduced you to the incumbent, Clay Higgins, and one of his challengers, Leslie LeBlanc. This morning, News 10's Rodriguez Taylor giving us some insight into the campaign of Tia LeBron, who is one woman hoping to make history.
Tia LeBron is standing on 3 things, which is service, compassion, and opportunity. She says she believes she is the best person on the ballot, and here is why.
I'm a real person. I represent Louisiana. I speak French. I am from the Homa tribe, and I care about our coastlines.
Tia LeBron says her main focuses are disaster recovery, educational opportunity, and access to health care.
I don't want any woman to have to be near death in order to get health care. I believe that doctors and patients need to make health care decisions and that we shouldn't have to go through lawyers or politicians.
She says one of the reasons she joined the race was for women's rights.
I don't think any of us is pro-abortion. None of us feel good about that. But when my daughter, hypothetically would be in a situation where she has life-risking complications during a pregnancy, I will choose her every time.
LeBron says she knows about the challenges of life, and that is what makes her different from her opponents.
I believe that having a real person who has worked 2 jobs, who has struggled to make ends meet, is a good opportunity for Louisiana to have a real voice. Because I think that's the majority of us, not just a small part of the community.
She says to be elected would be historic.
We have never had a woman lead in District 3. We have never in the history of Louisiana had a Native American represent us. And as wonderful as that would be to be the first in those categories, I feel like what I bring is a passion and determination to get things done and a willingness to work with anybody from any party of any color.
LeBron also tells me the campaign system has been a challenge for her as a woman, knowing a dollar amount puts value on where she is placed as a candidate. For your local election headquarters, I'm Rodriguez Taylor.
Acadiana, guess what? The International Rice Festival is in full swing this weekend over in Crowley. The 85th annual celebration is jammed-packed with music across 2 stages, food, a V-car show, hopefully I said that right, and plenty to do for the whole family. KLFY, of course, was on site yesterday for a roadshow series starting with Passe Partout, and then Acadiana Live, plus our afternoon and evening newscast. Then the Acadiana Center for the Arts officially kicked off Golf Brew yesterday afternoon. Golf Brew is a fundraiser for the ACA, which presents performances and art exhibits year-round in downtown Lafayette, as well as serving as the Arts Council for the 8th Parish region. So, contestants of the King and Queen of the Brew were introduced. Today at 4 p.m., the man and woman who have raised the most money will be crowned as the King and Queen of the Brew. Golf Brew runs today from 1 until 5 downtown Lafayette. Admission gets you access to over 200 samples. And you cannot beat that. A beautiful day outside for us this morning, and hopefully that'll continue for us throughout the weekend. Trevor.
Yeah, it looks like it will. Temperatures will be in the 60s for this morning, so cool conditions, but temperatures warming up into the 80s later on this afternoon. Let's take a look at temperatures this morning. 59 in Lafayette, 59 in New Iberia, 55 degrees coming in Baton Rouge. Now, satellite radar shows a pretty quiet weather pattern across our area, not much showing up. All the major storm systems are well to the northwest of us, but we do have a south flow that will be getting established later on today. Notice clouds increasing across the Gulf of Mexico. These are low-level clouds mainly, and these will be working in later on this afternoon. So we will see a slight increase in cloud cover, mainly due to moisture increasing in the lower levels of the atmosphere associated with that southerly flow. So temperatures rising through the 60s and 70s. We climb into the lower 80s later this afternoon. Future track continues to show these low-level clouds streaming off the Gulf. We'll call it mostly sunny to partly cloudy for your Saturday. For tomorrow, pretty much a similar story. If you like today, you'll like tomorrow because the weather pretty much stays the same through tomorrow and through Monday. But by Monday night and Tuesday, that's when we could start to see a little more of a change to our weather. Lower 80s on the thermometers this afternoon. We fall back into the 60s for tonight. For tomorrow, right back in the lower 80s, I'll say about 82, 83 for both today and for tomorrow. And these south winds really begun to ramp up yesterday, and it looks like they'll be strong again today, 10 to 20 miles per hour out of the south, and we'll keep these strong south winds in the forecast through tomorrow as well. Atmospheric moisture levels starting to increase across the region, especially with that southerly flow coming in. Moisture really begins to show up, though, by tomorrow night and by Monday, with a quick hitting front pushing through the area Monday night and Tuesday. So we could actually see a rain chance for overnight Monday night and through early Tuesday, but it will be ending by Tuesday afternoon as drier air will be coming in on the backside of that system, and maybe some cooler air by next Wednesday and Thursday as well. So we have another frontal passage, maybe not as strong as what we saw a few days ago, but nonetheless another front. Now, across the tropics, pretty quiet for now. We are monitoring a few tropical waves here across the Atlantic, but nothing imminent across the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico, so certainly some good news there. 82 your high, mostly sunny. I'll call it warm and windy for today. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. 7-day forecast has temperatures in the lower 80s again tomorrow. About 83 for tomorrow and Monday. Few isolated showers Monday, but by Monday night and Tuesday morning, I think those rain chances will begin to increase. Nothing incredibly heavy. I'll put the rain chance at about 30–40%, mainly light showers. And behind the front, slightly cooler. Notice highs in the 70s again Wednesday and Thursday. Morning starts could be back in the upper 40s to lower 50s by Wednesday and Thursday morning, and then a slow and steady warming trend by the end of next week. So overall, this pretty quiet weather pattern looks to continue, with the exception of that front coming in for Tuesday. Not much happening.
All right, perfect. Just perfect. Just like the help you had yesterday. Was that it yesterday?
Yes, I was, yeah, it aired yesterday, and this kid was pretty amazing. He was dressed pretty well as well, which really impressed me. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is your KidCaster for this week. So what's your name, buddy?
Kaden Marks.
So what do you like to do for fun?
Play my game.
Video games, right? Are you an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy?
Xbox.
Xbox, yeah. So what else do you like to do? Do you like weather?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about weather?
The cold.
Cold, so you like winter and snow. That's coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to do the forecast?
Mm-hmm.
All right, stand right here and look at this monitor over here on the wall and give the forecast for Saturday.
Morning, will be 68 degrees mild. Noon, will be 77 degrees, mostly sunny. And evening, 80 degrees warm.
80 degrees and warm, so this is the forecast for the next 4 days.
On Saturday, it's going to be 83 degrees warm, sunny. And Sunday, it's going to be 84 degrees warm, sunny. On Monday, it's going to be 85 degrees warm, cloudy. And on Tuesday, it's going to be 80 degrees, cloudy, showers.
There you go, man. Great job. Get right back in the middle. I knew you would nail this because you're an Xbox guy. So if you want your child to do KidCaster, just go to klfy.com and sign them up under the contest page. So look at the camera right here in front and wave bye to everybody.
A little helping hand goes a long way, right?
Yeah, I told you. He was really
just
good.
Impressed. All right, thank you for that, Trevor. Coming up here on Passe Partout, how a new business will be driving more and more golfers to Broussard, Acadiana once again. I want to say good morning to you.